Alrighty, you guys, welcome back to a brand new episode for our Halloween week special. I guess that's what this is. We are going to be diving into Trick or Treat classic. It's a, well, I should say modern classic. It's just one of those movies that I feel like everyone needs to watch, especially on Halloween. It's just perfect. Now, this came out in 2007. I randomly bought this movie on my iPod. Not sure why, but I would watch it a lot, especially like to and from on the drives on the weekend to like the mountain and everything. I would just watch it with like some of my friends on my little iPod Touch. Love this movie. A lot of great memories with it, and it's great to watch with friends. Great for a Halloween movie marathon. It's perfect, you guys. It's perfect. So yeah, we're going to dive on in to the spookiness of Trick or Treat, which gives us another very iconic Halloween villain. But it also it feels so cozy. It feels so perfectly Halloween. It kind of has the vibe of like The Simpsons Treehouse of Horrors. And I think it's a little ironic that a lot of Halloween specific films are also, what's the word? It's almost like analog horror a little bit in a way. All these different stories that come together in the end or are kind of like interwoven with each other. I just love it. But yeah, so diving on in. Directed and written by Michael Dougherty, produced by Legendary Pictures and Bad Hat Harry Productions, distributed by Warner Bros. Pictures. 5 Halloween stories. A principal has a secret life. A virgin is looking for her first time. A group of kids pull a prank. A woman who loathes Halloween does not respect the rules. And a mean old man meets a demonic trick-or-treater. Now, normally we would go through the cast list. There's so many. That's the only issue with these. What's the fucking word? I'm drawing a blank. My brain isn't working today. But these multiple stories, like, that's the only thing with them. The cast is massive. I don't want to waste any time, guys. We should probably just dive right on in. This is going to be a longer one, but it's just because we have so many fun Halloween stories to work through. I feel like it's a good mix. You get a little creature feature, a little paranormal, a little kind of like man-on-man crime. It's a good mix. The film takes place on Halloween night in the fictional town of Warren Valley, Ohio. The plot follows a non-linear narrative with characters crossing paths throughout the film. At the center of the story is Sam, a peculiar trick-or-treater in an orange footy pajama costume. Sam also being like kind of a derivative of Samhain, depending on how you pronounce it. But I just love it. He's the embodiment of Halloween. This is kind of like our Halloween Christmas Carol, right? A Halloween Carol. I like that it has its own kind of moral rules, as classic horror does. And even within that, the rules that have to be followed for Halloween. I know, it works so well. And it has that classic horror feel to it. Like, you can tell they're trying to push like some kind of morality thing. But I don't think this movie is doing that specifically. I think inherently kind of Halloween folklore, scary tales and whatnot are kind of rooted in that. So I like that these stories also carry that kind of like, don't go out at night, don't take candy from strangers, those kind of things. In the opening scene, Emma and her Halloween-loving husband Henry return home after a celebratory night. Emma, who hates Halloween, blows out their jack-o'-lantern before midnight against Henry's advice. As Henry falls asleep in the house, Emma tears down the decorations, but is then ambushed and murdered by an unseen assailant. I do love the scene with just the props, also the bed sheets. It works. This does have more haunted vibes to it, although we do learn that it is Sam, because he's the enforcer of the rules, the Halloween police, if you will. Hours later, Henry discovers Emma's mutilated corpse on display with the decorations. So we're just right out the gate. Like, it's fucked up. You know it's going to be. It is gory, but I would argue that it's not that bad. It's not every single story where there's immense gore. The last one, though, is a pretty good one. And then it cuts. That's our first story. And we head on over to the principal. Charlie vandalizes jack-o'-lanterns and steals candy from unattended bowls. When school principal Stephen Wilkins catches him red-handed, Wilkins offers Charlie a candy bar while lecturing him on the importance of respecting Halloween rules and traditions. This has very, very sinister vibes to it. I would say this skit has a lightheartedness to it, even for how severe it is, but it is deeply, deeply disturbing. I think it also is just reminiscent of terrible kind of predatory things you hear regarding kids and Halloween. It definitely kind of makes your stomach feel a little sick. I'm not gonna lie. It is a deeply disturbing kind of thought, especially when his own son gets brought into it. It's just messed up. Shortly after, Charlie begins vomiting violently. As Charlie dies, Wilkins reveals that he laced the candy with cyanide. Wilkins attempts to bury Charlie in his backyard, along with the body of another victim, but is continually interrupted by trick-or-treaters, including Sam. His young Halloween-loving son Billy, his cantankerous elderly neighbor, Mr. Krieg, and Krieg's dog, Spite. That's such a great name for a little dog, sorry. It is comedic also, but still very violent and disturbing. Him being interrupted and one of the bodies, presumably the kid that he just tried killing, wakes up and he shoves like the shovel in and stomps on it on the neck, like to stop the noise. It's a lot, guys. The other victim turns out to still be alive, and Wilkins beats him to death with a shovel to keep him quiet. Returning indoors, Wilkins notices Krieg seemingly in distress, but brushes it off before something attacks Krieg. Foreshadowing, we will find out what that is in a little bit. Wilkins guides Billy downstairs to carve a jack-o'-lantern. As a twist, the jack-o'-lantern they are about to carve is Charlie's severed head.
But don't forget to help me with the eyes.
I ain't gonna lie, the special effects and props in this movie are really realistic. So, fair warning. This isn't like a lighthearted trick-or-treat Halloween anthology. That's the word I was looking for. Anthology. It's very disturbing. I think that's why I like it. The next story that we hear about is of the Halloween school bus massacre. A group of teenage trick-or-treaters, Macy, Chip, Schrader, and Sarah, meet devout Halloween traditionalist Rhonda. Macy leads the group to a flooded quarry and recounts the urban legend of the Halloween school bus massacre. The parents of 8 mentally disabled children bribed their bus driver to dispose of them. This is fucked. I mean, just absolutely. I don't like this one. I mean, it's just one of those things of like, it sounds so terrible being a part of like folklore that you almost think like, oh, it could never be true. And then when we find out in the story, it actually is. I would also say that this one's probably one of the scariest ones, I would say. I don't know, it's just something about it is so freaking creepy and going when they go down into that quarry. Ugh. Also, I feel like we should note that Richard Harmon from the newest installment of Final Destination played the kid on the bus in the Dracula mask. Crazy, right? Things go awry when a child dressed as Dracula gets loose and the bus is driven off a cliff into the quarry. The children all drowned, and the driver, the only survivor, was never heard from again. Also something we will call back to later. No one tried to find the bus, as the people didn't want it found. Macy leaves 8 jack-o'-lanterns by the lake as a tribute to the deceased. The group splits up, leaving Rhonda and Chip behind. Poor Chip. Poor Chip, he's nearly pissing himself the whole time. Rhonda gets separated and is then pursued by horrifying figures, which turn out to be the other teens in disguise. A prank planned by Macy. Realizing that the trick has gone too far, Schrader tries to comfort the hurt and terrified Rhonda, while a bitter Macy kicks a jack-o'-lantern into the water. The actual drowned children, now risen as undead, emerge from the lake and attack the teens. The special effects of it is really cool. I don't know what it is, I love the juxtaposition in a movie when we're given like someone dressed up as the thing that gives us an initial really good scare, and then the real thing coming out shortly afterwards and us being like, oh shit. That's the real deal. I love that. Rhonda abandons the rest to their deaths as revenge for their prank. Now, it's kind of such a baller-ass moment, Rhonda taking that elevator back up, saying F you to every single other person. I mean, kind of deserved it. As she leaves with a wagon of jack-o'-lanterns, Rhonda encounters Sam and exchanges a respectful nod with him. I like that too. Like, Sam, game recognizes game. The next story is the surprise party. Lori, a self-conscious 22-year-old from out of town, joins her older sister Danielle and friends Maria and Janet for Halloween. The girls select princess costumes, while Lori dresses up as Little Red Riding Hood. Also a little bit of foreshadowing there. Lori misses trick-or-treating and is uncaring of her friends and sisters' talks of dates, while the other girls pick up dates and head to a bonfire party in the woods. Later, on the way to meet up with her friends, she is attacked by a man in a vampire costume. Lori arrives at the girls' bonfire with the injured and frightened vampire, who turns out to be a disguised Stephen Wilkins, the principal from before. So, he's going to get his comeuppance. We also find out that this vampire is someone that's responsible for murdering women in the area too. So, he's not just killing kids on Halloween, he's also killing women. What a fucked individual. It really makes you not feel bad for what happens to him. Now, I love how quickly this scene turns. I'm also going to say it's a very sexy scene. I appreciate when we get to see a depiction of these beasts, like a vampire or a werewolf, where they revel in their monstrosity. And that's what these girls do. They revel in their sexuality, in their femininity, and in their monstrosity as well. And I think that is such a brilliant thing. I think it also just ties well into the conversation in horror about like the monstrous feminine and whatnot. This whole scene just chef's kiss. So good. It has kind of like the energy of the blood orgy from American Horror Story Season 5. If you catch my drift, like very sexual. The girls shed their clothing and skin, revealing their werewolf bodies. I also love how it's literally like a zip. Like they slice down the center of their backs and then just rip it off. Oh, it's so good. Having chosen Wilkins as her first kill, as he truly deserves it, Lori also transforms and kills Wilkins before devouring him. Sam watches as the werewolves feast on their deceased dates. And the werewolves are really scary looking too. Like the design on them is so good. It's a scary scene. I don't know. I'm also just a little softer to werewolves. They terrify me. I don't know. And then with that, this one is the last story, and it's the story of Sam. Krieg, curmudgeonly Halloween hater, dresses up his dog to scare trick-or-treaters off his doorstep. It's very the Grinch. Very the Grinch. I think that's kind of what we're going for, a bah humbug kind of individual. As the night proceeds, Krieg encounters increasingly unusual phenomena. The front of the house is egged. The lawn is filled with ornate jack-o'-lanterns. And the hallways and ceilings are scrawled with Halloween and Samhain greetings. Gets very ooky spooky very quickly. I will say, when he opens the door again and his whole yard is filled with lit up jack-o'-lanterns, it's so pretty and just so cool. Like, it's such a great scene. The impact of it really just kind of takes you back, because he opened the door, there was nothing there, and then, you know, he gets ding dong ditched or whatever again. He goes back and then it's Sam ambushes and attacks Krieg. In their struggle, Krieg manages to unmask his assailant, whose head resembles a grotesque hybrid of a skull and a jack-o'-lantern. Such great character design. It just is. Works so well for this demonic little fuck. Also, when he bites out of the frickin' lollipop and slashes the back of the guy's ankles. That's never not going to make me just like tense up. Krieg shoots Sam several times with a shotgun, knocking him down. However, Sam incapacitates and corners Krieg, who fails to get Wilkins to help him. A call back, you know, to the first part. When Sam tries to stab Krieg, he instead hits a candy bar which had fallen on the old man's lap. With this, Krieg accidentally gives the candy to Sam, completing the tradition of handing out candies on Halloween. Satisfied, Sam spares a confused Krieg and departs. Meanwhile, photographs burning in the fireplace reveal that Krieg was the missing driver from the school bus massacre. See, it's all tied in. I love it. A heavily bandaged Krieg gives candy to trick-or-treaters and witnesses other people upholding Halloween traditions. Krieg answers another knock at his door as he is surrounded and brutally torn apart by the zombie children from the bus. I do love that too. The zombie kids get their own retribution. It just feels like the universe leveling out the odds, or kind of leveling the playing field. I don't know. It just works. It works so well. I wish we got more. Not gonna lie. I do enjoy it as just a standalone thing. I don't think it needs more. I don't. But I would be open to it just because it's so much fun. The visuals in it were great. The stories were great. The characters, I mean, even down to just the acting, was really good. And I would even argue that there's some real heavy hitters in this movie. But yeah, I want to know your thoughts, guys. I know this one has such a strong cult following. It's such a good movie. I mean, I don't know how you could watch and not enjoy it, I guess. I don't know, it's good. It feels cozy, which oddly enough, a lot of Halloween movies do. Like, I love horror in general, but there's just something about a good cozy movie, you know? Even if you're afraid of it. But yeah, I want to know your thoughts, guys. Have you seen this one? If you haven't, I highly, highly recommend it. Like, worth buying, all that. But yeah, I want to know your thoughts. Like and subscribe, all that. And yeah, I want to thank y'all for a really fun month. We're closing on in for Halloween now. And yeah, I had a really great time. I hope you guys did as well. I'm sure Gooby is enjoying it as well. He's up in Vermont currently. I will see him tomorrow night. So thank you guys so much. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments, like, subscribe, all that. I will catch you in the next one. Take care.